right, now's not a good time to be a CEO of a major insurance company. Look, UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot and killed by a Manhattan man that is yet to be caught. Folks, listen, the memes and the commentary about this entire situation have been pure gold. Now, to be clear here, whoever this person is still on the run. The New York Police Department have yet to capture them. And also, I mean, there's been a lot of conflicting stories about how he escaped. There was a story which I was going to play a video of him apparently running away on a city bike, which now the New York Police Department have retracted, which it turns out that's not true. Community Notes, as well as the New York Police Department, have retracted that statement. So if you're hearing about how he escaped on a city bike, which is like basically a bike that you rent out and drive around New York City. We have something equivalent to that here in Chicago. That story is not true. So this story actually broke yesterday morning, and I think we were all shocked. But look, we don't know what caused this altercation. I mean, there's many calling the fact that this might have been an inside job because of accusations of, and again, accusations of insider trading. There's also been talk of perhaps this is a person who had a loved one denied health care, or they were denied health care, and in turn, revenge, or it could have been something else altogether. But, there have been these warnings brought out in the past of just how brutal these healthcare insurance industries are and overall how they're screwing over people. Never forget how the Democratic establishment in 2016 and 2020 really went to bat for hard. I mean, really hard for the healthcare insurance industry. Hey, folks in the comments section, do you love your healthcare insurance industry and how they're taking care of you and your loved ones? Type 1 for yes, Kit. I'm perfectly fine with it. It's fine. I'm agreeing with Rahm Emanuel. All Americans love their health insurance. Type 2, dude, I have stories, and I have stories of what happened to my friends. Feel a lot of anger, but I'm also having an odd smile on my face too. So let's go ahead. I wonder how many twos will be in the chat. I wonder, do you ever wonder? Because people, folks listening right now, this story did break yesterday, so I think it's only fair we play it. This is only 35 seconds because we got a couple of updates to share with all of you, especially commentary from one of the bodyguards of this CEO of UnitedHealthcare that was killed in New York City yesterday morning.
Breaking news. A man shot in Midtown just a short time ago. We're told he is in grave condition. It happened on 54th Street between 6th and 7th Avenues. Police telling us a 50-year-old man was struck in the chest. He was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital, and police tell us they are looking for a man with a black mask and carrying a gray backpack. We are told he fled through an alley near the Ziegfeld Theater. No word yet on what led to the shooting. We do have Kirsten Cole at the scene and gathering more information at this hour. We, of course, will bring you a live report at the top. Break.
Now, we all know that one bad day here in the United States can lead to medical bankruptcy. We all know that the healthcare insurance industry has screwed over many Americans. And we do know that at one point, we did ask our wonderful congressmen and women in 2021 to do a forced vote to implement and lay down the groundwork for Medicare for all, which they denied. Seems to be a story we know all too well. But first, let's talk about something that did happen, because this is something that has recently been shared. The suspect the NYPD believes shot and killed. Well, there's video footage of it. We can't show it because that will probably get the channel hit hard. UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson left behind writings on the shell casings that police found at the crime scene. A senior New York City law enforcement official briefed on the investigation, tells NBC News. The search for the masked gunman has been ongoing since the Wednesday morning shooting. Something tells me that's going to be quite some time before they find him, okay? Now, again, anything can happen between now, excuse me, and tomorrow or the next day. But it looks like right now, whoever the assailant was probably has long left the city if they did what if this was all pre-planned out. Left Thompson fighting for his life outside the New York Hilton Midtown Hotel ahead of a United Group investor meeting. Oh, how wonderful. Investor meetings. Are we going to talk about taking care of the people? Nope. That's going to be a no, Charlie. A whole big no. New York police officials said Thompson appeared to be targeted in a brazen, premeditated attack. We've seen the screenshots, we've seen the footage, we've seen the videos. I mean, come on. That was definitely on point. On point. Dramatic surveillance video obtained by NBC New York appears to show Thompson walking down the sidewalk on 54th Street towards the hotel entrance when the gunman comes up behind him, shoots him in the back. The police said the police said the shooter's gun jammed, but he was able to clear it several times and shoot Thompson in the front before leaving the scene, first on foot and then on an e-bike, which has since been retracted. He did escape, but there was this accusation or claim that it was a city bike. Since then, Community Notes has retracted on that, as did the NYPD. A law enforcement official tells NBC News the bullet casings found at the scene had the messages on them that were defend, deny, depose. Whoever did this clearly had anger. I mean, we could sit here and make conspiracy theories and assumptions, okay? And one thing we don't want to assume is, when you assume, the acronym for assume, you make an ash out of you and me. But how many times have you heard stories of people who have worked all their life hard, and if it's not them, but the person they love, being denied health care, being denied insurance? It's a story that we're all too familiar with. Some of you have even dealt with it firsthand. Everyone has a breaking point. And, we know this economy is struggling. We know that people at this day and age where everything's connected on the internet, I mean, there's so much negativity and people being unsure that you never know what's going to cause somebody to snap. As the Joker once said, everybody has that one bad day. And maybe it could be assumed that this person who went after the CEO of UnitedHealthcare Insurance very well could have had a bad day. And Brian Thompson was his target. Now, the surveillance footage, the cameras, they all show it. I don't think we could play it because obvious reasons, because of obvious reasons. But look, how many times have people been warned? How many times have we said that, what we have here doesn't work? And anything could cause anybody to snap. But what's interesting, though, is that the security guard for Brian Thompson was shocked that the UnitedHealthcare CEO was unguarded. Now, this is an ex-security officer. Now, I also want to make very clear again. Sorry, excuse me again. I need to get a glass of water. But the fact that at this point, he had no security helping him out, and there's also been accusations of insider trading, also has to raise a few questions. So let's go ahead and pull up this title here. So Brian Thompson's ex-security guard shocked UnitedHealthcare CEO was unguarded. And again, want to point this out too, that the whole idea of him escaping on an e-bike, the assailant, has been retracted. So just want to get that clear out there. The Minnesota headquarters of UnitedHealth were rocked by two large protests just months before the CEO of the company's insurance provision was executed in Manhattan Wednesday. As the boss, former security provider, said he was shocked he didn't have anyone guarding him on his trip to the Big Apple. So let's go ahead and talk about this even further. Slain United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, 50, was stationed at the company's headquarters in Minoka, Minnesota, where more than 100 demonstrators ascended in April and July to protest an alleged epidemic of claim denials, the Wall Street Journal reports. Claim denials. UnitedHealthcare denies care. See, now, this is something that everyone should rally around, because when you have these healthcare insurance industries start denying people healthcare, I mean, is that it for the people and their families? Is that it because they can't take care of their loved ones? I mean, a visit to the hospital Ain't cheap. Hey, folks, is visiting the hospital cheap? Type 3 for, oh, why, I've never had a problem. Type 4, boy, you know it's a problem. Don't ask that question. I wonder how many 4s will be in the chat. So, again, there's some of the still footage. All right. So during the July protest, 11 protest demonstrators were arrested, including people from Minnesota, Illinois, Maine, Texas, West Virginia, and New York, according to the Minoka police. The People's Action Institute, which led the April and July protests, said it was shocked by Thompson's death, but still used the tragedy to highlight what it said was a crisis of denials in America. Because you never know what's going to cause somebody to snap. I'm urging everyone in my audience, please be safe out there. Keep your heads on a swivel and drink that water. We know there is a crisis of gun violence in America. There's also a crisis of denials of care by private health insurance corporations, including UnitedHealth. The group said in a statement Wednesday. The People's Action Care Over Cost campaign gives people a productive, nonviolent, Democrat way to create change on this problem. Both of these crises must end. Our political leaders must act on both, they added. Well, I'm not expecting Nancy Pelosi, AOC, or Bernie Sanders to step up, or Chucky Boy Schumer. All our Democratic politicians have gold-plated health care. Now, I do want to pull this up here because now, folks, this has also been interesting, too, as we continue to progress on this story. UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was facing a Department of Justice probe for insider trading when he was killed in a targeted NYC shooting. So, insider trading. Oh, that never happens, right? Oh, but apparently it does. So let's go ahead and pull this up here. Just want to share with all of you. UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was one of several senior executives at the company under investigation by the Department of Justice when he was gunned down outside a Mann Hotel on Wednesday. Thompson, who was killed in what police say was a targeted shooting outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown, exercised stock options and sold shares worth $15.1 million on February 16th. Less than 2 weeks before the news of the federal antitrust probe went public, according to Crane's New York Business Report. Hold on. Gather around. Gather around. Gather around. No, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Calm down. Everybody. How much you want to bet some of our famous, oh so fantastic politicians might have been involved in that little trade? I mean, there isn't an X account called Unusual Whales that calls out these jagoff politicians. I mean, do we have to have more democracy in the chat? I mean, did you know your congressman and woman is probably involved in insider trading? Type 5 for, no, kid, I'm shocked and surprised. Type 6, thank you for introducing us to Unusual Whales. You'd be surprised how many Democratic and Republican politicians do insider trading. I mean, there wouldn't be any kind of weird shenanigans going on, would there? I wonder how many 6s will be in the chat. I wonder, do you ever wonder? Continuing on, the stock price dropped sharply after the revelation. The Department of Justice was investigating whether the company had made acquisitions that consolidated its market position in violation of antitrust laws. A source familiar to the probe told the outlet. Goodness gracious, Cretaceous. Hold on. It gets interesting. Thompson's stock options reportedly had several years until expiration, and the sale of shares was his first since assuming the helm of parent company United Health Insurance Division in 2021. My goodness gracious, Cretaceous. Oh, wait, we also got another super chat here. Thank you, Natalie Williams. Correction. Congress has Blue Cross Blue Shield Platinum plan that only they get. It's special. Hold on, wait. Better yet, if we're going to do this properly, I'm going to read this properly. Acting in 3, 2, 1. Correction. Congress has Blue Cross Blue Shield Platinum plan that they only get. It's special. Well, since Congress is so special, here's what I got to think about them being so special. Here's what I think about Congress being special.
And here's what I think about it.
Does Congress deserve that platinum plan? Type 7 for yes, kid, because they work hard. Real hard. Type 8. No. Oh, wait. And one more time. No. I wonder how many 8s are happening in the chat. See, hey, this is what I like about Heartlands Media. I get to interact with you, my lovely, outstanding, beautiful audience. So there you go. There you go, indeed. Thompson, continuing on, 50, along with UnitedHealthcare Group Chairman Stephanie Helsman, Chief People Officer, Chief People Officer Aaron McSweeney, and Chief Accounting Officer Tom Ross sold a combined 101, not Dalmatian, 101.5 million in shares, with Helmsley personally netting in a shy of 85 million, according to the report. Goodness gracious, Cretaceous, what is going on? So, now, one more time here, too. Earlier this year, United Health was hit by one of the largest healthcare data breaches in U.S. history. The company estimating that as many of 1/3 of Americans' private data, potentially including social security numbers, were compromised in the ransomware attack. My God. Okay. So the company wound up paying the hackers a $22 million ransom. CEO Andrew Whitty told the congressional panel in May. The massive firm, with the annual revenue of $372 billion, later said its estimated financial cost as a result of the hack to be around $705 million, according to Reuters. So, what can we take about this? What can we learn from this? Well, there's talk of insider trading. There was reports and obviously demonstrations taking place at the headquarters early this year in April and July. And yet somehow, folks, all of this happens and they yet to capture the guy. It's all so suspicious. Was this planned? Was it an inside job? It's a story that we're all too familiar with. I mean, folks, what happened to a guy first name Jeffrey, last name E, in a tight security prison? Then the power goes out and yawn. The security guards are asleep. And oops, somehow he's dead. What happened? What happened to that little black book? What happened to the Diddy tapes? What's going on? Oh, things seem to be disappearing a little bit. Hang on, let me fix myself just a tiny bit. There you go. I mean, what's going on? What is ongoing? What is ongoing? The story's still developing. Or it could be something else altogether, and that is a person who might have been suffering, who snapped. This is a reaction, could be a reaction to how our system has abused people. Because when you're sick, you should get help. You shouldn't go into debt. You shouldn't go into poverty. You shouldn't be spending the last moments with your loved ones knowing all too well that there is a way for them to get care. I want to say that maybe this is just an offshoot, a blip on the radar. But people can only be pushed for so long. So I urge you, my audience, be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. And to the powers that be, maybe you should be looking into the history books about how upper echelon people, high society, royalty treated people when there was a huge disparity between those that have everything and the majority that has nothing. It's not like history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does know how to do the rhythm and rhyme.
SWAT team took your neighbor today. Watched them as they walked him away. You told yourself extremists come in all different shapes. Met his eyes and lowered your gaze. Is it too late for for us to ever change. We are collecting the dust of better days. They're always watching us, but we're never safe. We're not meant to be safe, not meant to escape. We aren't meant to wake. Sheriff stopped your daughter today. Pepper sprayed her twice in the face. He must have had good reason if he'd treat her that way. At least that's what they've taught you to say. But is it too late for us to ever change? Once we're collecting the dust of better days, and they're always watching us, but we're never safe. We're not meant to feel safe, not meant to escape. We aren't meant to wake. Feds arrived and had you detained. Said you'd made some posts they want changed. Tased you till you felt like you'd forgotten your name, or life before they had you contained. Oh, life before they had you contained. The SWAT team took your neighbor today.